Since I started my career as a virtual assistant, there's a lot of misconception that is going around across social media. And one of those is, andali lang daw or parang andali lang kumita ng 6-digit per month as a virtual assistant. Well, that's something that we were going to answer right now with this podcast. Sandbox Podcast, a podcast for Filipino freelancers. And we have a very special guest right now, which is Miss Joanna and one of the Sandbox student actually, still coming from Peso Scholar. And, we'll get to know more about her in a moment because that's the question that I always wanted to talk para makapagbigay ng maayos na guidance sa karamihan na it's not gonna be that easy for most of us. I know it's possible, but it's not gonna be that easy. So, we're going to talk about that together with me, Miss Joanna, one of the Peso Scholar who's, I believe meron ng kliyente ngayon. So, let's talk about it. And how are you po, Miss Joanna?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm doing good today.
Bakit nervous ka? Why are you nervous?
Because I have a cold right now, so my voice isn't really like.
Oh, really? No, that's okay. Kasi I'm going to ask we're going just to talk like few questions and some things that needs to put some clarity on how to get started as a virtual assistant, and at the same time this will serve as a guidance for everyone who's actually watching right now na if you are in a situation or if they are in a situation right now na parang medyo na hype from what they are actually seeing from social media, if this is the first time na parang they're trying to venture this type of career, well then this will serve as a guidance to them. Which is the very first question that I have, and this is the question as well that I always ask sa guests ng Sandbox Podcast is that how you started as a virtual assistant. What's your prior, kumbaga, things or job na ginagawa before being a virtual assistant?
Well, I actually just graduated last year September as an IT in the University of Mindanao, Davao campus, and I didn't have any experience yet. Even work part time, I don't have any experience yet with that. And even though I am an IT, I think it's a valuable skill to have computer literacy as a BA. So I didn't have any experience yet. Even as a BA, I don't have experience. So this is a zero knowledge path for me.
So this is kumbaga this is the first time yung client mo ngayon, that's your first client?
Yes, it's actually my first client and I'm starting this Monday.
And what's the job description?
I am gonna be starting as the keyword researcher, but in the future I will be handling inventory management for the company too.
So that's still something to do with with Amazon.
Yes, Amazon. It's still in Amazon is very broad, so Amazon has a different branches. So yeah, I am in the keyword research and inventory management.
Okay, I see. So keyword research, what do you just to give an idea for everyone who's actually watching right now, what do you normally do, or can you give us any idea?
So you know how customers in Shopee use the search bar to search for products to what they want to buy. So with that, I am also researching what those keywords the customers are looking for, so I can put those keywords in our product so they will pop up when the customer search up for it.
Okay. Pero is it part of your responsibility pa rin, creating a product title description, or
no, it's there's another team for that product listing management, but for me it's just the keyword research and to clean the keywords and sinasala mo sila to have a very specific and a high search volume for the products.
Okay. So basically, your job is that looking for a good list of keywords na pwede nilang magamit to create those listings sa kanilang Then since you're an IT person, I believe it's not really that hard for you when you do this, when you started, or
well,
what's the struggle kung meron man?
There's no struggle yet. I have encountered yet because there's tools that can help you, like Helium 10 that you have taught us during the training actually, and this is a very useful tool for the keyword researching. So far there's no the only struggle that you will have is to find the very relevant keywords that is for your product.
Okay, I see. So the struggle is about like the time that it consumes, or like choosing the right keyword.
Because sometimes there's keywords that is not related to the product, but there's are products that comes up with it. So it's very, that's the confusing part of it.
But
Yes.
I have a one question though. Like, since you're an IT person, do you have a specialty as an IT?
So IT is like Amazon too. Like IT has a lot of branches to the. So IT is like jack of all trades but master of none. So in IT, there's different branches like networking, programming, like hardware. There's a lot of
Okay. And what's
branches.
your specialty back when you were
Um,
ano?
well, I graduated as an IT, so there's a thing you called after you graduate is to ladderize, where you focus on one branch, and this is called ladderizing and choosing a specialty in IT.
Okay. So you did not pursue any specialty
No,
yet,
I
or?
did not pursue anything. So I thought that I should pursue VA because it is the most convenient
Mm-mm.
convenient thing for me right now.
Convenient in terms of what? Like,
Like of course everyone wants to work abroad, so working as a VA is like working abroad, but it's just at home. So it's not it's easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it is like that where you're working abroad, but you're just at home.
yeah.
So this
I
is
mean, that's what I actually really like about being a VA is that literally nasa bahay ka lang. I even tried like uh, doing a meeting with a client ng nakasando lang, and there's no like problem with them. But I don't suggest for you to do it mag-meeting lang with ng ng nakasando. Pero it's actually it actually happens it actually happens to me, which is what I'm trying to say is that's the level of flexibility when you are working at home, aside from of course if makatiming ka ng kliyente who allows you to do your work at your own time, which is really good. And then there is which is interesting kasi you're an IT person, so I think you somehow find it like being an Amazon VA still connected.
Um, there's not much connection to IT and being Amazon VA, but being Amazon VA really like helped me learn about more on the businesses and what actually gonna be tackling if you're gonna start a business. Like you're gonna have to find suppliers, what products you will have to sell if they're already saturated. It's gonna be hard for you to sell if they are saturated already. So that's the hardest thing about being Amazon VA is about being a product researcher. I think that's the hardest
Which is
thing.
totally different from what you have
Yes,
yung
thankfully
pinag-aralan.
I haven't been assigned there.
Yeah. Now, the other question that I have, based on your opinion, like which one do you prefer, since you have like undergo a training with Sandbox, and I'm sure that you can identify the difference. Like, would it be better to have a formal training or like a self learning through social media platforms like YouTube?
For me, it's very important to have our very formal training through sandboxes. I am very thankful for PESO for that because with formal training, you have your trainer that can guide you through your knowledge or your learnings, and you can have your questions answered directly too. But compared to YouTube or self-learning, these YouTubers don't really have the time where you can't ask them any questions if you have any difficulties, and you can't really just like practice your knowledge too, because they don't really give you like exercises for this. So with the formal training, you have your assessment, your trial test with this. So it's very good to have formal training than self-learning.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that, and that's one of the disadvantage when you're just learning through YouTube, kasi there's no one to answer your questions whenever you have questions. And formal, whereas like when you do the formal training, there will be someone like a coach who can actually guide you. And I heard that you have some community with
Yes,
with VAA.
yes, the VAA community is very helpful if you have very difficulties. Because if you have difficulties, you can ask your fellow VAs like what to do on this and what to do in this problem. And you can also ask your TLs. There are team leaders too that you can help through with your problems too. So they're very helpful and very lively community.
Okay, I see. Then what do you like? What do you think about it so far with your with your role? Do you like it or?
I, I like it because like I mentioned before that the keyword researching has already been taught from the sandbox. So this task or this job is very helpful or like easy for me since I already have a training here and also undergo training from the BAA. So I basically had 2 trainings for this particular category in Amazon keyword researching.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool kasi it really enhances your ano talaga no your skill and knowledge on this space as an Amazon VA. One thing that I'd like to ask, and I'm sure that people would like probably to know as well, like in terms of potential rate. Don't of course you don't have to tell it's your actual rate right now, but based on average, based on your research, what do you think about it? Like the potential.
For me, for the research that I've done, I'm not saying that this is my salary because I'm not allowed to like say it, but
Of course, yeah.
the starting salary for entry level is 45 45,000 pesos per month. So this is just for the entry level. So imagine if you have more than one client for that. So
Yeah, I mean that's actually good already given that we're here in the like in the Philippines.
yes,
Having ako nga back when I was in like in the BPO, I was like doing 22. That was okay for me already. Now the last question that I have, hindi na natin patatagalin. Of course, for someone and everyone who's actually listening right now, what is the advice that you can give to them when starting out as a virtual assistant with zero experience? Kasi everybody started with zero experience talaga. But just like what I said earlier, it's not okay to start with zero knowledge kasi kailangan talaga siya. What's the advice that you can give to them?
I would just remind everyone that no job is easy, and I'll just even though we keep saying that it's not easy being a BA, but you shouldn't give up on like finding your client too, or keep learning. Because if we gave up like months ago already, because we wouldn't be here. So we kept trying and trying to get the client, and now here we are. So don't give up until you get your client. So even if it's hard.
Yeah, that's actually a very good advice. Like failure, rejections from the client is actually part of it. Like being, yung hindi ka ma-notice when sending a proposal. That's part of it, and that's the reality. And when you encounter that, then I would like to say na do not get discouraged and just continue doing what you're doing bilang isang if you're a truly like aspiring virtual assistant kasi it really happens. You're not alone with that. Even me tawag nito, na experience ko siya being rejected with a client when I was just starting out. So yeah, I think this is pretty much it. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation for having this podcast interview with Sandbox Podcast, and hoping for your success in the future with your first client right now, and hoping na you get that level, which is most of us, even me and a lot of people right now, like getting that 6-digit goal para so ganun lang. Thank you very much once again. This is me, Coach Ben, and together with me, Miss Joanna, one of the Sandbox Success student who were able to get a client right now with our partner agency VAA, and of course a product of Peso Tagum Scholar. So once again, this is Coach Ben, and this is Sandbox Podcast, a podcast for Filipino freelancers. Thank you very much, and have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.